Moore from Bike Baton Rouge, the current president of the organization. Thank you so much for being here today following this tragic accident. First of all, you had mentioned to me before we got on camera here that you've actually had recent conversations with Buddy Amoroso about cycling here in the community.
Yes. Last week at the Pedal for Peace bike ride that he attended, along with some other Metro Council members, the mayor, chief of police, some law enforcement, and other community organizations. We were up at Howell Park, and sadly, just days before that, a bike rider was killed in his district on Sherwood Forest, Mr. Ron Guell, and we were discussing that and how Buddy's efforts over the years at making Baton Rouge and the surrounding area a safer place for people who, like himself, like to ride, and we're just words can't really express. We're just heartbroken. He was always a great advocate for people who ride, and not just for the cycling community, but various other causes that he was passionate about. He had the respect of everyone, even people who disagreed with him on policy issues and things like that. He will be missed, and we just want to let friends and family of his know how sorry we are, and if there's anything we can do, please don't hesitate to reach out.
And speaking of things we can do, obviously this is a very public tragedy, but there's been others like these recently and in recent years. What are some things that you believe could be done to improve cycling safety in Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas?
Well, that's it's a simple question with a complicated answer, I guess.
Yeah.
There's certainly things the State Department of Transportation Development can do in rural areas where this tragedy occurred. In the Felicianas especially is a hugely popular touring and recreational cycling hub. There's races and group rides all the time. It's a very popular thing up there, a huge economic generator for them. And it's what's best about Louisiana, enjoying our beautiful natural environment. It's a sportsman's paradise for a reason. And so what can be done in rural areas are things as simple as maintaining the shoulders so they can be ridden on in times of heavy traffic. Signage, simple things, simple cheap things, reminding drivers that this is a popular bike route and they need to pay attention. And just public awareness campaigns about driving, in general. Obviously impaired driving is always a danger, distracted driving with, in the age of smartphones, and just carelessness in general. It can be, driving while not paying attention, as we see with this latest crash, is as deadly as, driving drunk or under the influence of drugs. And there's never enough publicity about the dangers of driving that can be done. A car or truck, it's a tool, but it's a weapon if not used with utmost caution.
And speaking of all of this tragedy and ways to help improve things, I know you guys are doing a very special event tonight. Can you tell us a little about that?
Well, we put together just kind of last minute a memorial ride for Buddy. Those that knew him and or maybe didn't even know him personally, but respected him, to come out, and we'll have a moment of silence, and people can speak about him and the hole that is in the kind of collective heart of Baton Rouge with his passing, and just to honor him in the best way that we know how, with something that he loved to do, which is ride his bike.
And if people want to come out to this memorial ride, where can they go and when?
It'll be downtown in the North Boulevard Plaza right there at 5:30, next to the library in the Old State Capitol.
Thank you so much for being here today, and of course, so sorry about the loss.